13 acres of hell.
Welcome to Pyro Radio. I am obviously your gorgeous voiced host, Michael, from Pyro Radio, obviously, and the Offering Magazine. I'm here with
the great and powerful Tim, Lord of the land of 1 square foot of Glencoe, Scotland, and Supreme Leader of the Offering Magazine.
All right, and we also have a very special guest this week, actually, which is that's right, she is your second in command. Ooh, we finally have a lady on Pyro Radio. And how about you introduce yourself?
So I'm Yvonne Nieves, and I'm the vice president of the Offering Magazine. And I'm really happy to be here. So thanks, Mike.
First lady on the show, first lady period with Mike.
Oh, yeah.
What's that supposed to mean? Mike's my homeboy.
Wait. First lady means...
That
I'm going to change my pants.
That was a total burn on Mike, but I don't think he picked up on that.
No, I picked up on it. I got to change my pants now.
Okay.
But I think that could wait for the break.
Mike just jizzed, so...
Thank you for being very straightforward.
Well, anyway. we're uncensored here today, so...
Yeah, but anyway, before we get the show started, I want to just address something real quick, and why we don't have Odorous or Des from Driver Anguar on the show right now. We were supposed to have them earlier in the week, as you know, if you were following us on Facebook, but we didn't have them because I fell very ill and could not make it to the show and interview them and have them on the show as well. So I apologize for my sickness, even though I shouldn't really be apologizing for that. It's not my fault. I have a pretty good damn immune system. But regardless, I apologize for being sick and not giving you the best entertaining possible. But we will be making up for you in December because we will be having Winter Sun, Arsis, and Elivetti on the show in the same week, so it'll be a double header of awesome bands in the 1 week.
Be a triple header, I believe.
Triple header. Well,
you got 3 awesome bands. So
but it's gonna be a double podcast, not triple.
Oh,
because Elivetti and Winter Sun will be in the same show.
They're playing the same show.
Exactly. But you will tell you about that later on when we get to the tour part of the show. But yeah, Arsis, Elivetti, and Winter Sun will be on Pyro Radio in December, so keep an eye out for that on Facebook. Just because we're making it up for you for not having Double Driver and Guar. But it kind of sucks not having that huge wiener of Odorous on the show.
It's okay, Mike. It's okay.
No, damn it. I wanted to see that big yellow wiener of his. Is it yellow?
No, it's green. It's quite green, and it sprays lots of green jizz.
How we know that? You should be ashamed that we know that.
You guys are making me crave brats again.
Yeah, we were having
Tim's
brats.
Yvonne loves her sausage.
By the way, excuse my cough. You're going to be hearing my cough a lot throughout the show because I'm still a little sick.
So, real quick, guys, if you ever take Yvonne on a date, make sure you bring her some sausage. Screw the flowers. Bring her some sausage.
Just the sausage.
No, I actually like flowers. So, I am single, though.
With sausage.
That's a great segue into what we're going to talk about in a few seconds,
we are right now.
Take it away?
Oh, we're going into that right now. So, okay, you were telling us about the story, but I made you stop before you continue the story. You told me you went into, where did you go into? To get this specific wax?
The treatment. So I have a new esthetician friend, and her name is Liliana Waxes, and I want to just give her a great shout out because she gave me my very first Brazilian wax yesterday, and it was awesome.
Can I stop you for a second? Her last name is Waxes,
No.
and she waxes stuff.
That is her business name.
Oh, it's Liliana Waxes.
It's like a porn star having his last name being Dick or his first name being Dick.
Right, that's what I was just like, wait a minute.
It's like Dick Johnson.
Well, it was a really, really awesome experience just because she's really...
Hold on.
Tim's lifting his leg.
So you're telling me getting hair pulled out of your vagina and your butthole was a pleasant experience?
I actually laughed. I think people really make a much more bigger deal out of it than what it really is. And maybe I just had a really good esthetician. I mean, she was very gentle. And
what exactly is an esthetician? I mean, I'm a guy, so I don't have a clue what that means.
So an esthetician is someone who is certified in various beauty treatments. So like everything from facials to waxes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure this wasn't like a degree you got in removing hair from people's assholes.
Yeah. So, well, that's what she does. So.
Yeah, people. 5 minutes into the show, and we're talking about assholes and vagina hair.
That's
how it works.
Not just any assholes, hairy assholes.
Hairy assholes.
Mine's not that hairy.
Assholes.
So yes,
was
remember,
Not
hairy.
anymore.
Once again, going back to Yvonne's dating life, her asshole is no longer hairy, guys.
Yeah, I'm
It's
going to keep
hairless,
it this
guys.
way. I actually...
Go on Pyro Radio on the Facebook and ask about her. I'll send you to her page.
Well, yeah, so it's completely bare down
No,
there.
you know what? Don't send them to her page. Don't go to the Pyro Radio website for Yvonne. What we want you to do is go on Craigslist and do a misconnection for Yvonne.
We will find you next week.
Chicago.
Oh, good lord.
Chicago. But, yeah. That still seems like it hurts.
Well, I'm going to ask her if she can take care of you guys. Maybe
Oh, God,
maybe
no.
we should do a Pyro Radio segment from inside that
I'm not
beauty
gonna lie,
room.
I have a hairy ass. That esthetician will be there forever.
So,
Man,
Forever.
I'd be like an episode of, or I'd be like that scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh no, I've gotten waxed before. Oh my god, that shit hurts.
yeah, she's got to go into the
Asshole.
crevices.
I've only things I gotten waxed before were my arms, my chest, and my shins. Only because my at the time girlfriend was trying to do all that esthetician shit, and I was her guinea pig.
Oh.
And god damn.
Okay, well, you know what?
God
That's the
damn, that
only
hurt.
acceptable reason that you should have been doing that is because
And that's the
girl
only
was
reason I
making you
did
do
it, because I was being forced to. Either I do it or I don't get laid.
And while you were
And guess
while she
what?
was doing this, like she's like spreading your cheeks and putting the wax in there, you're just sitting there playing video games while she's doing it, right?
No, I was just trying not to scream.
But I have to say a disclaimer, okay? So, even though I'm bare down there, all right, that's not the only reason why you should ask me out on a date. I'm actually a pretty smart person, college educated, and pretty independent, and I've got a full-time job. And
Hold on, I gotta stop you right there.
So guys without jobs,
all right.
she's got a job.
I'm gonna ask you. Every guy that's listening to the show. This is their question right now. Can you make a sandwich?
I can make more than a sandwich, actually.
Damn,
Yeah.
All right,
guys,
So all right, guys,
get shit done.
she's got her own
Message
place.
her.
She has a job, and she can make a sandwich. And
make
she
it-
likes metal.
And I love metal.
So, guys, get shit done. Message her. We're like Match.com over here.
It
man.
is. It did.
I
See
know,
what
right?
happens when you get a chick on
know,
a radio
right?
station?
You know what?
We're not trying to hook up with you. We're trying to get you to hook up with somebody else.
I
You know,
know.
I think we should go back on Craigslist and try and find her a date on there on the personal section for her.
For all we know, those mixed connections are for her.
They could very well be.
I've got some high standards, though, so good luck, guys.
You can't be bald.
No.
No.
Did I guess right?
Well, what if they're shaved bald? Do you mind shaved bald? Because I know that's a pretty popular style in the metal scene.
I have to say, I don't mind whatever hair on the head looks like. I love long hair, and shaved bald is just fine with me, too.
So if they're bald, you just want to make sure they got some wax on the head so you have good grips on it, right?
No, because I've touched waxy heads before, and it's just really, really weird. But I'm an arm guy, so girl.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, dude. I'm not a dude.
I don't know. Hold on. I think I see a little boner right now.
This.
Sorry, guys.
My balls are inside. All right. No, I've been drinking. I'm drinking right now some Pilsner beer.
That's how it works in Pyro Radio. We all have to be drinking.
We're drinking right now. We're boozing.
And it's we've been boozing
I'm
since
sniffing glue.
Tim's been sniffing glue, and me and Yvonne have been drinking beer since noon, which is right now at the moment that we're recording this is 3:16 p.m. on a Saturday, and we've been boozing since noon.
Yeah, man, it's been good time.
Well, she's been boozing since noon. I've been boozing since fucking 24 hours ago. It's right now. I haven't slept for the past 24 hours.
I've been boozing for the last 7 days, Mike. We talked
So
about
if there's
this.
any police officers listening to this, there's a good chance Mike's going to be driving home drunk if you want his autograph.
You'll get it. I'll be more than happy to give it to you. And a picture. But anyway, Thanksgiving was, what, I fucking lost days of count, 2 days ago?
Something like that.
2 days, yeah, something like that, 2 days ago. Did you guys enjoy Thanksgiving?
It's good times all around. Family came over, you know, large turkey. It's a good time.
I enjoyed myself. I made a couple of stops and had some of the best Puerto Rican turkey that I've ever had in my life, thanks to my Uncle Rob. And, yeah, it was good times, man. I got to spend some time with my sister and her boyfriend. So I was at third wheel because I don't have a boyfriend.
Well, you're just like
Catch the hint, assholes.
You're just
Catch
like
the hints.
cruising for a day here. Like, I gotta ask you, what makes a turkey Puerto Rican? Is it the seasoning or the fact that it came from Puerto Rico?
Both. No, it didn't come from Puerto Rico. It was made by Puerto Rican hands. But it is the seasoning. It was really, really awesome. So
You know what I'm
I think
disappointed
we
with
need a
this whole
recipe for
situation,
this.
though? I'm disappointed with this whole situation because, Yvonne, you haven't made me a sandwich yet.
I'll make you a sandwich, Mike.
Yes.
I'll make you a really, really good sandwich.
Winning.
With garlic on it.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care. I will take it during the break.
Do you like tuna?
I'm fine with whatever.
Ow, that hurt. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were just fist pounding right now.
Fist
and
pounding.
Apparently, Tim is a little too strong.
Actually, I don't know, but whatever.
But you know what? This is a good opportunity to clear my name. I have a female on the show, and I'm making sexist ass jokes. But Yvonne knows me outside of Pyro Radio making these sexist ass jokes. Yvonne, am I a sexist?
No, Mike's awesome. He really does have a lot of respect for women, and
It might be a eunuch.
Take that, Trisha. Trisha's one of our regular listeners. When we first started up again as a podcast, she was busting my balls and our previous co-host about being totally sexist. So take that, Trisha. Anyway, Black Friday. Did you guys go out shopping?
hell no.
I actually did.
I did too.
I'm against it all.
You know what?
I
I didn't
blew
wait outside
all
any
my
stores,
money.
though. I just waited like an hour after all the stores opened.
I didn't go
went
into
out.
the stores until like 4 a.m. I was like, I'm gonna keep it real Black Friday. I'm
I went
going
out
at
at
4.
about midnight. I hit up Target, and you know, most of the I didn't even buy anything for myself. I was doing all my parents' shopping, so because they all have to work, so they can't, you know, go out that night.
Technically, I only bought a few things, which still broke my bank, but I was just pretty much the chauffeur for my brothers. They were just wasting money and every single video game they could find.
If anybody out there has a business license for restaurants, hit me up, because I think next year I'm going to go out there and be selling some like hot coffee and cocoa out there at like $12 a cup, and I bet you we could make a killing. All we need is that permit. So,
Or not. Or not.
well, you pretty much have to, because every one of those stores hires actual police officers as security
They do.
guards.
It's kind of scary. You're gonna walk in there and just like you're going into prison with a bunch of merchandise. And like, fuck, I don't know where to look.
Well, like, you know what? I was happy about it because I didn't experience this, because my first year was 2 years ago. I went to Black Friday shopping. I did wait outside to get a really big TV and all that crap. And what I was told is that the year before, because Walmart was opening at 8 and Target opened at like 9 or 10, everybody who waited in line at Walmart came over and rushed the line at Target when the doors opened. So Target actually had gates up, and they had police cars up there, and all the people from Walmart did come over, but they couldn't get through the line because the cops were there.
Did you guys hear of any crazy situations happening on Black Friday? Because I don't watch the news, so I don't know.
Actually, I didn't hear anything this year, but
I did.
what I heard from one of our staff members from the offering was that some white guy apparently was trying to steal something off of a black lady's shopping cart, and her husband caught him, and I guess they just started getting in a fight. So I was just like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I saw one on the news, some crazy lady in Indiana. I guess the store was actually passing out tickets for the items that they had available, and then people were trying to sell those tickets, and one lady got pissed off and like started screaming "High hell" or whatever, or "High heaven," and that's about it. I didn't hear anyone getting trampled to death or anything, but you know, give it time, it'll happen again. It always does.
All right, well, enough of the Black Fridays and the Thanksgiving. We're going to go to our break real quick. We're going to go with some, again, like just we did last week, we're going to promote one of my currently favorite unsigned bands from California, Symbolik, who will be coming out with a new, physical album next year. So make sure to check that out. So Symbolik from California, I will be having them up on Facebook again. And here's Epicurean Paradox here on Pyro Radio. And that was Symbolik with Epicurean Paradox here on Pyro Radio, and I am Mike, and I'm here with
Tim
and Yvonne.
And this is pretty much the, like I said, special edition of Pyro Radio with just pure offering staff here today. And we were just talking about Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and now I think it's time for some Movember conversations here. If you don't know what Movember is, that means No Shave November, pretty much. So, Tim, did you follow the... Well, I can tell if you were following it or not, because I can see you, but apparently you weren't then, huh? You decided to shave?
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. Do you get a full beard? Or do you get just like a face beard or like a neck beard? Or everything?
Well, just what you see right
now. Because you have you have like a goatee right now.
Yeah, that's all I ever let grow. The rest.
But I mean, like, if you were to let everything else grow, how would it grow?
I'd look like ZZ Top.
Oh, you get a full beard then?
Yeah.
Why are you not growing a full fucking beard then, man?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't want one.
I wish I could grow a full beard. All I can get is the fucking neck beard, like my fucking chin strap shit, and that's it.
Maybe
and like little patches and shit.
Maybe you should call one of those that like Bosley place and have them take some hair off your nuts and put it on your face.
All right, this is why they say metal and men in metal are homoerotic, This is a perfect example.
Shut up. Anyway, that ball hair is going to go to my scalp when I start balding, not my face.
Oh, see, I, on the other hand, both my grandfathers died with full heads of hair, so...
And I, on the other hand, have no hair in my cooter.
Nah, touche.
Because she put it on her head.
No. It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. It was whoosh.
I think
Ripped off.
we should cheers now. We've got some Crown Royale here, and we should cheers to all you.
Crown Royale?
Royale, that's how they say in the hood.
It's Royal. Crown Royal. It's from Canada.
Look, mofo, we're from Southside Chicago. We call it Royale.
It's Crown
You
Royale.
don't know what you're talking about, dere. This is Canadian whiskey, yeah.
But I think we should toast.
Yeah, hey there.
We should toast to all those guys and girls out there. If you're growing that hair in your cooter, we're gonna toast to you. But clearly we're not following the little trend. But cheers and good luck with growing the hair out. Oh yeah, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, hey there.
Ooh. Mike needed a chaser. He's chasing right now.
Yeah.
Chasing with beer. Some pretty good beer at that.
Ooh,
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, hey there.
Enough with the pauses now. And all right, but yeah, we were just listening to some Symbolik. They're from California, and me and Tim, we've actually had a conversation about this before in the past podcast about how the California scene, metal scene, is much tighter than anywhere else in the country, and that is
I was
actually
gonna say Florida is.
Yeah, Florida's got a really
they really got
amazing
tight,
scene.
but California I think might be a little tighter because everybody knows everybody there and they all support each other.
You know what I think it actually is, and I'm disagreeing with you here. I don't think California is a tighter scene. I think Florida definitely has a tighter metal scene because they actually support each other. I mean, I remember hearing story when I think it was we interviewed Crizian. He said their first show in the U.S. was in Florida, and the guys from Death showed up at their show.
Oh wow!
And it was just like they were a no-name band at the time, and Death came out to see them. But California is where all the major record labels.
But yeah, that too.
Come
But
from.
I don't know. I feel California they're a much tighter family. Like when Death Angel started coming out with their stuff, the guys from Metallica would go into the shows after they were already signed and they were already big.
that's just the Bay Area thrash movement. I mean,
I know, but that's just an example.
Yeah,
that's
I
just
mean,
one
I
part
guess
of California.
It really depends on what kind of music you play. California's got thrash metal, Florida's got death metal.
But like I was saying though, for me, California has that really tight bond with everybody, and this is where we're gonna go right now. And me and Yvonne were talking about this last night, and we've talked about me and you have actually talked about this before, regardless anyway. How the Chicago scene fucking sucks.
It does. It's depressing.
There's cliques everywhere.
God.
And
Nobody supports each other.
Nobody supports each other. And well, you know what? We're gonna leave this whole talk to Yvonne. We're gonna let you vent because you wanted to vent.
Yeah.
You wanted to vent, but I stopped you so you can vent today.
Yeah, I'm gonna vent a little bit. I'm just, here in the metal scene in Chicago, it's been a topic of conversation first and foremost about how bands and promoters or small-time record labels book shows on the same exact day at two different metal venues. So, like, yesterday I really wanted to go to Reggie's, but then I ended up going to Cobra Lounge, for example, okay? And it's like... I just couldn't choose. I had to pick one, because both shows are happening at the exact same time. And so, to me, that's a major issue. There's absolutely no communication or support. Then it's promoting, right? You get all your information on Facebook now. Tim and I have talked about this a lot, which is like nobody flyers anymore. And you know what? I'm encouraging you guys, anybody listening, any Chicago bands, fucking get a flyer together and just put it on paper, just spread the information.
And, just a small, quick plug-in, shameless plug-in. If you don't have the first issue of the Offering magazine, Tim actually talked about this in his first article for the magazine and talking about how every band is on Facebook and nobody actually promotes. So like you're saying, nobody goes out with flyers. Everybody just invites everybody in their friends list.
Facebook is a great tool, but the problem is I get about 60 event invites to shows a day. And you know what? I just don't even read them anymore. I'm just like, oh, fuck that. I just delete them because it's just too much. If I'm at a show and you walk up to me and hand me a flyer and talk to me and tell me about your band, that's so much more than me seeing your name on a website. You know, it's just like, come check out our band. Well, or my biggest, you know what my biggest pet peeve with Facebook bands is groups that start a Facebook page and send you out a message to say, like my band, and they don't have any music.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I have to say that yesterday I was a little disappointed at this show that I actually ended up going to, because I was charged $10. And it used to be when you go to a show, they ask you, okay, you're gonna pay this $10 or cover, or some sort of cover. Which band are you here to see? And I was not given that option at all yesterday, so I didn't know who where my money was going or who it was going to support. So I get in there, and the shit's packed. And I gotta say, this was a tribute show. It was a tribute show. It's bands from Chicago, musicians coming together, and so it was a Pantera tribute, Metallica tribute, and Slayer tribute, and an Iced Earth tribute, and Sepultura, yes. So it's like this place was packed, and I gotta say, no offense, y'all bands, but I'd rather hear your original shit. I have these CDs at home. I can listen to it online. Thank you, Spotify. and it sounds better, and I just feel like, gosh darn it, you know what the hell? This place is packed. No, but I really wanna. I wish that there was this amount of support for local bands. And bands traveling in through town. It just makes stuff a lot more difficult. And I gotta say, again, the venue made out well. These promoters made out really well from tribute bands. And that is so freaking disturbing. I gotta say, at one point I was in the back. I was just like depressed. I was like, what is this? What is metal coming to in Chicago? This old bald guy came up to me and was like, it's not all that bad. And I'm like, well, actually it is, because I've never seen it like this. And you've got all these people coming and showing up to this bar, and they're all hanging out and looking like they have a good time. But I'm like, y'all really are not having a good time. Come on now.
If you think about it straight to the point is that if your scene has to go do cover songs of other bands like Metallica, Slayer, and Sepultura and whatnot to get packed venues, then that means there's something wrong with your scene. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to the Chicago scene. I love Chicago. I've hated it before, but I've grown to love it. But fuck, man, come on, guys. You guys, there's something going on wrong. Where if you need to cover songs from Metallica and Megadeth and whatnot to get a packed house, then there's something wrong here. You guys need to work on your original shit.
You know what? I know where it all comes from. And you've got all these bands doing covers because that's what all these people are coming to see. It's the elimination of all ages venues. Because kids are no longer getting into metal. Because they can't even go to a show. All the shows are 21 plus. And, so they get into things like rap and hip-hop or whatever. Because that's what, the kids listen to at school. They don't even have the chance to go to a show. Because everything is 21 plus, and okay, it just kills. It's killing the scene. Is all the venue? Well, the venue. It's simply put, the venues are worried about money. I mean, the venues. You can tell which venues it is too. I mean, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to get blacklisted by venues myself. But just a perfect example here. All right, you said you paid $10 to see these cover bands last night, right?
Yeah.
You know how much they're charging for the Eleveti Winter Sun show?
5.
13.
13? I'd rather put money into that. The only reason why I went yesterday was just because a friend invited me, and I know guys in all of the bands that played last night. But I do have to agree with you, Tim, about the whole 21 and over thing. I look at the punk and hardcore scene here in Chicago, and there's bands that have been around for years and years and years, and they are still managing to put on some all ages shows. And there are kids. I mean, how else are we going to spread, our gospel of metal if we're not bringing these kids in to help support? But at the same time, they're also listening to shit like dubstep. So
right. Well, that's the thing is the all ages shows are your major touring bands that everyone's already heard of. And as much as I hate to say it, America's metal scene's been going down the shitter for like the past 10 years. At least in my opinion.
Well, no, everybody's been listening to European metal.
Yeah.
Hence why Winter Sun is so big right now. And all that. Just Winter Sun's just a small example. They're just huge right now.
You got to look into your local scene. You got all these awesome bands who their fans can't even come to see them because they're too young. And venues are like, oh, well, that's not our problem. We're making all this money off these people who are drinking. Well, what are you going to do in 10 years from now when all those kids, they couldn't get into the shows then, aren't into the music, and they're not coming to your venue now, and all those people who were 21 at the time now have families and kids and aren't coming to shows.
Yeah, one prime example, we've played them on Pyro Radio before, is Mechana. You've heard of them before. I don't know if you've heard of them before.
No.
But Mechana, they're just top notch. And I know they don't do shows very often, but when they do, it's just one of those 21 and over shows. But it's just like, oh my god, these guys are, the production quality of their albums are top notch. Like anything you would hear off of Nuclear Blast or Metal Blade. That's how top notch their production value, their albums are. And they're bigger in Europe than they are here in the US, which is a very sad thing. Because they're unsigned and they're local here in Chicago, but they're bigger in Europe than they are here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. That happens a lot.
And I find that to be fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, come on, guys. It's like California, Florida, everybody knows every fucking band. Everybody's friends with each other, but here in Chicago, these bands, these really good bands like Mechana, have to get big online and through Europe. And they have never been to Europe before. So it's just like, I don't know. This is really frustrating.
Yeah, you know what? Like I say, my biggest beef against the American metal scene is if you look at the metal bands that they're spitting out these days is, I'm just going to put it plain and simple. If you're out on stage wearing a sweater vest and jeans so tight I can see your nuts, you're not in a metal band. I don't give a fuck what you are.
Good thing I'm in a radio then.
Right.
You can keep looking at my nuts, Tim.
Yeah, Mike, you gotta loosen up on those pants a little bit. But something
It's not my fault. They're huge.
I'm gonna get you a kilt.
Oh, perfect. I'll be Scottish.
I'd rather like a man in a good kilt. But there was
hello there, hairless Yvonne.
Okay, shut up. You told me to shut up earlier. I'm gonna tell you to shut up now, so I can make my freaking
rude.
point. So no, but over at this one major Chicago venue, and it's on the north side. I'm not going to say any names, but I was really surprised a couple years ago when I was purchasing merch from some bands, and then the band told me that they had to give a percentage of their merch to the venue. And that was really, really upsetting because...
I know what venue that is.
Yep, because, merch is one way that bands can make their money back. 'Cause a lot of the times, these bookies and venues want to make the money on top of the bar, right? And so the band's really... It's a labor of love for a lot of these guys, so it just kind of makes me sad. It's like the commercialization of our music industry. Obviously, we're starting to see it cross over into metal and punk even, and it's sad.
Yeah, and it's a perfect example, but but being someone who manages bands, I'm not gonna stress this enough. If you were dumb enough to book at a venue like that and not put in your contract that you get to keep 100% of your merch sales, you deserve to lose that money.
I also love how a lot of these bands do want to, they expect a big crowd and they expect cash, but don't promote. Right, Mike?
Yeah, on the way here to do the podcast, me and Yvonne were actually talking about this, how I promoted bands on the show on Pyro Radio before. On Pyro Radio before. And I promote the shit out of the show and their band throughout the week before the next podcast comes along. And I don't ever see them once promote the show or tag the page at all.
You know what?
And this is the sad part is that I've worked with them before and I've emailed them before and we've agreed to it that they at least have to promote the Facebook page, just the Facebook page, 3 times throughout the week. There's just 3 times throughout 7 days. That's not a lot, and they don't do it, and it's just like, well,
you know what?
That just discouraged me from ever helping them out ever again.
I used to book shows myself. I do still, but it's very rare. And I will give them all the tools to do it. I even print the flyers for them and just tell them all you got to do is come pick them up. And none of these bands will ever promote. And you know, this isn't all of them. And I do still manage about 5 or 6 bands, and I guarantee every one of them promotes it under me, or I'm not interested in working with them. But simply put, if you don't promote, you better not be coming up to me at the end of the show when you had nobody show up to your own show and hold out your hand expecting money. If you don't bring people to your damn show, then I ain't paying you shit. Simple as that. And you know what? And that's why all the venues are doing pay-to-play or sell tickets now.
And that's why I'm not going to shows anymore.
Or taking a cut of your merch because you're not doing your damn job. You want to get your name out there, do it.
Chicago. You heard it from a manager himself and a fan.
I've actually also managed plenty of bands and produced shows. So
Chicago.
It's ridiculous.
Get your shit together. Because we want to match up to fucking California and Florida. And New York at that too. Those 3 places in the U.S., they have the tightest metal scene around. Chicago, we're not even close. So get to it. But we'll get right back to some more Pyro Radio after this break. Here is some Vicious Attack from Chicago, who we're supporting. Because
we are trying to get them to come on the show and do.
We're going to get them on the show pretty soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
If once they get the free time. But a band from Chicago. The Bears. But we're going to get Vicious Attack.
Vicious Attack.
Vicious Attack. I'm thinking of another band.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm thinking of another
VA.
band. Sorry. Apologies to Vicious Attack.
Smack him!
Face palm.
My face.
He liked it.
I loved it.
He's a sadomasochist.
Oh, yeah. But, here's Sick Mind Stalker from Vicious Attack from Chicago here on Pyro Radio. And that was Vicious Attack with Sick Mind Stalker from Chicago here on Pyro Radio. And I'm Mike, and I'm here with
Yvonne.
And your Lord and Savior, Tim.
And we're all from The Offering, and me and Tim are from Pyro Radio, except for Yvonne. You're a special guest. You're our first female guest here on the show.
That's right, I got the boobs.
The boobies. And you know what? We were actually beginning of the show.
Pixar didn't happen.
I got the boobs and the brains too, guys.
Pixar didn't happen.
She's fishing for a date right now, guys.
No, I gotta tell you, the idea for an actual in-print edition of The Offering was mine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I'm sorry to break it to you, but during the break, Yvonne did get a booty call. She's busy tonight.
Well, we'll see. I'm still waiting on confirmation.
Confirmation of the booty.
But don't forget, guys. If you guys have arms, and she likes arms.
I like strength. I like a strong man with a sensitive side.
Now, what would you
hello
say
there,
to
Yvonne.
what would you say
Shut
to
up,
a
Tim.
guy
Hello,
with
Yvonne.
one strong arm?
One strong arm ain't gonna cut it.
That means he's a wanker.
You need two to handle this. Yeah, that's true.
All right, but like I was saying, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about you getting waxed, and we were talking about how that. I know how it feels. No, well, not down there, but up at my chest and my legs. But that fucking hurts. But anyway,
I have a high pain threshold. It didn't hurt. I laughed.
Okay, you laughed.
Yeah.
But did you cry about this? Did you get your anus bleached?
I've not done the anal bleaching thing.
Do you plan on getting your anus bleached?
No, hell no. I don't want those toxins on my body.
You know what? Hold on a second. I'm a guy who's not metro in any way, so I have to ask, what is the point of getting bleaching done to your anus?
So
it doesn't look like you pooped out of your anus.
Well, it just
How many people look at your anus?
That's true. Well, yeah, you're right. Which is why I'm not going to do it.
Well, wait, hold on. Let me ask you this: are you a porn star?
No, I'm not.
All right, I guess you don't have to do it.
I'm not a porn star, but
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around what is the point of doing this.
Well, I'm going to explain it to you if you guys let me talk.
All right, you're right.
Okay,
Let's let the lady talk.
Oh, good lord! And I love how they have me talking about like all this, intimate stuff.
Before we get to the actual metal business.
When we get to the actual metal,
Thanks for being a good sport.
Absolutely, I'm happy to engage.
That's because you have a vagina.
and it's the power of the V.
You know what?
Or the power of the
already got
P.
it.
So
Here's the headline. Today on Pyro Radio, Yvonne discusses anal bleaching and Brazilian waxes.
absolutely. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that'd be interested, including chicks, though. Because honestly, I've had some really interesting discussions with some of my girls about this. But going back to the whole anal bleaching, there tends to be a discoloration on the skin around the anus for some people, especially of some ethnic backgrounds. So sometimes it's necessary. Yes, a lot of porn stars get it. I'm not going to advocate for it. I don't, dude, it's just whatever people do in their privacies of their own bedroom is their business, and I'm not gonna say that anybody should get their, asshole bleached. What's the point?
If you want your asshole brown or white, it's up to you.
That's right.
But all right, back to the metal business though. Other than your anus over here, Yvonne. Jesus, so much anus talk with you.
The power of the P.
The power of the P or the power of the A?
What's
We
the
won't go
P
there.
stand for?
Pussy.
Pass.
It's the power of the pussy.
Pass.
All right, but back to the metal though. Last week, as you all know, we officially got off track because Tim was out doing God knows what on Friday night.
Probably at a show or something.
Yeah, I know. I was at a show. I was seeing Death Clock. Death Clock.
Death Clock's a good show.
And
man.
oh yes, they are. I always knew they were a good show, but my God, when I saw that fucking show, it was just.
Was John Twinkletitz there?
I don't know. Is that Toki?
No, that's the doctor who, the shrink doctor who has to talk to him.
Oh no, he wasn't there, man. No.
With the banana stickers.
That was probably during the first tour. But one, every song on that tour has a music video. Every single song. But you will not find those music videos on YouTube. You have to go you have to go on the tour to see these videos.
Well, Rob Zombie's been doing that for years. You go to his show, he's got a video playing along to every song.
Yeah, but some of those you can find them anywhere.
Which, by the way, I do want to throw
though,
something out there. I saw Zombie a few years back, right after Educated Horses came out, or maybe it was right before, when he was on tour. And I just want to throw out there, I liked his original video for American Witch better than the... I mean, the new one's good too, but it was just something about just seeing an American witch shaking her bare ass for the whole song. It was just a good video.
Let's leave the witch talk up to me. That's my area.
Yeah, cool. Just if you didn't know.
Wait, are you volunteering to shake your bare ass for us?
No,
Oh.
no.
Damn it. Too bad we didn't do a vlog
Wearing
this
nothing
week.
but a witch's hat.
We gotta start doing vlogs when she's on the show. But anyway, like I was saying, if you want to see these music videos, though, you actually really do have to go to these Deck the Clock shows, because these are exclusive tour music videos for you guys. And I must say, they're actually pretty fucking awesome, though. And then while you're watching the video, you can still see Brendan Small, who does vocals and the lead guitars for Death Clock, on the show and in the concert and the CDs. You can still see them performing. You can see still the faces, not just a silhouette of their
By the
bodies.
way, Brendan Small, if you are listening, we want to interview you.
We've
Contact
been
us.
trying to interview you since August. We love you, man.
Contact us.
And you can request me to interview you, too.
Yvonne, shut your
Alright.
face. Anyway, but yeah, just Death
In
Clock.
fact, just say anybody but Mike.
No, I'm the head interviewer, damn it. But anyway, yeah, that show was just so fucking epic. And Black Dahlia Murder killed it as well.
Who?
Black Dahlia Murder.
Who?
Shut up, Tim. Anyway, and then they were awesome as usual. And then All That Remains.
Who?
Exactly. Who?
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 Exactly. They're out of tune. They actually can suck my dick.
Wait, you know what? I do remember Black Dahlia Murder. That's the band that I left after seeing Carcass a couple of years back when they played the Pearl Room. Carcass went on, I watched them, and then I left because Black Dahlia Murder was next.
Just shut up, Tim. Black Dahlia Murder is a pretty good band. They're one of my favorite bands, and I will never miss them whenever they come to Chicago. But it just sucked that they had to open for All That Remains.
Yeah.
All That Remains had a full hour.
Should be the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. All That Remains had a full hour, and Black Dahlia Murder only had 30 minutes. And
They
that
do
was
that all the time,
That,
though, I
but
mean.
that was only because Machine Head had to drop off that tour because Rob Flynn had a hernia.
You were upset about that, Mike.
I was so upset about that because I was seeing Death Clock, Machine Head, and Black Dahlia Murder. Those are three of my favorite bands.
Somebody smack this kid for me.
Fuck you,
I have
dude.
a Black Dahlia Murder sticker on my shopping cart.
But come on, dude. The moment that you hear Machine
Christmas
Head,
gift from my
the
dad
moment you
last
hear
year.
Machine Head is dropping off a tour.
Yeah, it's
you,
shitty.
You got this shitty. You got to be upset because I saw Machine Head headline at the House of Blues back in January when they were with Darkest Hour. What's that? Yeah, Darkest Hour and Suicide Silence. And my God,
You know what? At least this is
I
the
had
first
to.
one.
I had to go butt naked because they were that awesome. I didn't want to come over my clothes anymore. My clothes were soaked after.
Now we're
something.
talking.
The Machine Head
Something
is
about a bunch of guys
every metal
playing guitars.
Oh yeah.
Just gets my
No, it was just the sight of Rob Flynn. Oh God,
He
Rob
just
Flynn.
jizzed again.
Oh, again.
Good job, Mike.
You know what, though? Like I say, at least this is only the first time they canceled. You know who I've been waiting to see? I don't know how many tours this guy's canceled now. And I'm sure there's a ton of you out there also who want to see this guy, and that is King Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
But you will see him at Maryland Death Fest, though.
Yeah, but I'm not going to Maryland Death
Is
Fest.
he headlining?
I think so.
Who
I mean,
headlines
this,
Maryland
this
Death
year
Fest?
is
Everybody.
good, though. You got King Diamond, you've got Carpathian
We'll get
Forest,
we'll
and
get
you
to
have
we'll
Venom.
get to MDF in a bit though. But Machine Head though. Oh my God, I was so upset about that. Have you seen Machine Head before?
Yeah, I saw him. I think it was either Ozzfest or Mayhem Fest they played.
I've not had the
that's-
pleasure.
That's not the
Well,
not the
they
same
were
experience.
one of the top bands.
Because you're seeing them from a seat and then they're like 100 yards away. I was watching them literally from 5 feet away. That's a whole different experience. I was watching them at the House of Blues in Chicago.
Well, I was actually about 2 feet away because I had
Okay,
because
because you were taking photos, motherfucker. I was actually enjoying the show. That was just like, to me, I was like, holy shit, this Machine Head is metal. So if you're a metalhead and you have not seen Machine Head, just not face palm, not double face palm, not triple face palm,
Quadruple
face palm, motherfucker. Get those 4 fucking palms, put them on your fucking face, and you better go fucking catch Machine Head starting the 24th, which is today.
And if you're a metalhead who has seen Black Dahlia murder, you can have my boot to your face instead.
Oh, shut up, Tim.
But yeah, boots. Have you guys... Wait, Mike, have you ever seen Tim's video? It's Hansel and Gretel's show in Chicago. And was it Loopy takes Tim's boot and drinks booze out of it?
2 cans of Heineken out of my boot.
So fucking disgusting. Anyways, go ahead. It's gross.
We will have to watch that video after the show.
Maybe we can put it up on the Pyro YouTube.
Yeah, you know what? I think we will. Yeah, if you like Machine Head and it's past the 24th of November, go to that Death Clock show because Machine Head will be there because apparently Rob Flynn already had his surgery. He's well recovered already and is back on tour with that show with Machine Head. And lucky you, motherfucker. Lucky you. Because, oh, God, I hate you so much right now because I wanted to see them so bad.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Speaking of tours, though, Tim,
Ooh.
Give us the tour news of Pyro Radio for this
All
week.
so coming out on tour in the near future here, I've elected to not talk about certain bands, even though Mike would probably want me to. But
well, we gotta respect the general metal people.
Yes. So out on tour right now, we have High on Fire with Goat Whore, and I'm not too familiar with this band. There's one called Lopan and Royal Thunder are on the bill also. All
right, hold on. Let me stop you right there. You're being a total dick, and even though I've just told you that we have to respect the entire metal community, As I Lay Dying will be on tour this winter. So check them out. If you're in Chicago, they're in Congress Theater.
Maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
They're in Congress Theater. If you're in Chicago, they're Congress Theater December 2nd. Just throwing that out there right now, because I know you're going to skip them over, but...
I am.
Goat Whore, which is December 7th in Chicago.
Right, and like I say, I'm not familiar with Lopan or Royal Thunder. Hopefully they're decent bands. We've been talking about this next one for a few weeks now.
Yeah, we've been...
Helveti, Winter Sun, and Varg. I think that's going to be a great show.
Who we will be having on the show, most likely.
And now, I don't know if this is true or not, so do not quote me. This is just a rumor that's been going around that Pagan Fest 2013 is supposed to have Winter Sun as a headliner.
Really?
Oh, that
this
sounds
is
great.
just rumor.
Oh, yeah.
That's just been going around amongst the internet trolls, but I think it would be pretty awesome. So keep your fingers crossed on that one, guys.
That's a sold-out tour.
We are there.
That is a sold-out
already
tour.
sold
Well, I'm
out?
pretty sure that their Winter Sun's tour right now is going to sell out.
Definitely.
So
And they're not even the headliners.
right. But I mean, Helveti is a phenomenal band.
Yeah, they're
way.
awesome too, but you got fucking Winter Sun opening for you.
Right. And then, I always have to give major props out to some friends I have in a band called Hansel and Gretel, who we just mentioned, who drink beer out of my boot.
We love Loopy.
And then that same day for Hansel and Gretel for Chicago, which is on the 14th of December, Hansel and Gretel will be in Chicago at Reggie's Rock Club. But if you want some more Degenti kind of metal, there's Veil of Maya over at Mojo's that same day. But that's if you don't want that, you want some industrial metal like Hansel and Gretel. Like I do. I actually want to be at the Hansel and Gretel show with Tim and Yvonne.
Yep.
And remember to get your spot front row at Hansel and Gretel if you want Loopy to pour many cans of beer in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. And then if you want to find us as well, me, myself, and Tim, just look for the blonde guy and the guy. Just two guys with really long hair.
I'll be around.
Just scream Mike and Lord Timothy.
I might be a roadie. I might be taking photos. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I'm going to be backstage with Voss.
We're all going to be back there anyway.
She's fucking awesome.
And then,
next tour. Then we have Sonata Arctica coming through with Arsis and Holy Grail. That should be a really awesome tour. And I know Arsis I think they just got another new guitarist, I heard.
Yes, they did. Actually, it was like 2 weeks ago. They dropped their old guitarist. I forgot. Nick something. Because he's now with Arch Enemy, so they had to.
Well, all right. So
their schedule is conflicted.
Yeah,
so
for
they
him, that's probably the better choice because although I'm not a super huge Arch Enemy fan, they probably have a bigger following, and you're getting better tour dates than Arsis.
Yeah,
not that I don't love Arsis. I love Arsis.
But Arsis should they? You know what? No, they shouldn't. They will be on Pyro Radio next month. So look out for that. Keep tuning in every weekend. We'll give you a confirmed date. That'll follow us on Facebook.com/Pyro Radio. And we'll give you a confirmed date for sure for Arsis on Pyro Radio.
And then we only got 2 more tours here that I'm going to mention. One is Dying Fetus is going out with Malignancy and Cerebral Bore. Now,
That's a good death metal tour.
all right, I'm not the biggest death metal guy, so I'm not too familiar with Malignancy or Cerebral Bore. I have heard of them. but I'm not too familiar with
Malignancy
them.
is they're a rather new death metal band, but they're really good. They're a band that you guys have to check out.
Okay, well, I always have to ask this question because I see it so often with death metal bands. You get these bands who say, we're death metal, and then you go to the show and they're playing deathcore.
No,
No?
they're straight death metal.
Okay, I'm just making sure because, like I
Yeah,
say,
Malignancy is
it's like they're
straight
trying
death
to
metal.
hide from what they are. I don't know
Malignancy, we actually reviewed them for the Offering magazine. So if you go to offeringwebzine.com and look up Malignancy, you will find the review for their latest album, and you will see how awesome they are. And then you can listen to it on YouTube or buy the album.
why. Okay, then this last show, I'm not sure if this is a tour or just a one-off date, to be honest, because I know everybody else on the bill is a Chicago band, but this is one of Chicago's most legendary bands, having been around for like 25 years now, and that's Macabre, the original murder metal band. So, if
So
you're-
is this a new holiday show that they're doing? Christmas show? They do it
well,
every year.
this is their Holiday of Horror show.
Right on.
But I don't know if they're doing other tour dates or just Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I say, everybody on the bill is a Chicago band. So I'm not sure if they have other bands.
And you know
in other
what?
cities.
Actually, that show will be Where's Milo segment show. So I'll give you more updates. But if you don't know what the segment for Where's Milo, if you find me, and I'm going to give you a hint throughout the week of what I'm going to be wearing, where I'll be at, near the neighborhood, and what I'll be wearing.
He will be the one wearing the pink tutu and the purple and pink duck.
Exactly. And if you find me first, guess what? You get to go into the show for free.
Ooh.
I've only had one person do that so far, and that was for the Morbid Angel show. And that was, about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago?
Morbid Angel and Dark Funeral
That was a good show.
with Grave. And then
And somebody
locals.
actually found me last minute, but they found me. I have 1 out of 3 so far.
And did you announce the winner on the show? Or
I decided not to.
oh.
I know, I should start doing it. But for that show, though, for this next show, though, in this late December, I will be announcing the winners from now on. So stay tuned for that, and I will give you information on where to find me and what I'm wearing, and give you clues on how to get a hold of me and get in the show for free.
All right. After Macabre, have a Merry Christmas, and we'll have more shows next week.
But speaking of tours, though, Ozzfest.
Let's talk about Ozzfest.
Yes,
y'all.
Ozzfest. Ozzfest, they're actually doing an Ozzfest, 2 days of Ozzfest over in Japan this summer, right?
Right.
And
I believe
the
it
first
said
day,
May.
the first day of Ozzfest, the headlining band is Slipknot. Second date is Black Sabbath. And if you're a real metal fan, an all-around metal fan, I should say, you know that Black Sabbath will be coming out with a new metal album in 2013, and it's guaranteed.
We're really excited about that, actually.
Everybody's really excited about that because it's Black Sabbath with Ozzy.
And then, according to what I've seen online here, it does look like there will also be a U.S. tour dates with Black Sabbath. It does not confirm or deny anything about Slipknot on the U.S. dates.
Fuck Slipknot. We're all crossing our fingers. No Slipknot. But I was saying if they're doing U.S. tour dates or a world tour, Ozzfest is coming back.
I hope so.
The Mayhem Festival, Uproar, fucking
They
Done,
need to grow
over.
some balls.
Over.
they have a fucking run for their money because Ozzfest is gonna come back, and it's gonna come back with the fucking vengeance.
You know what, though? I will be honest. Mayhem actually was not that bad this year. There were a lot of bands that I did not like,
Kill yourself, Tim.
but you had Anthrax, you had
Motorhead.
Motorhead, and you had Slayer.
Yes. It was
But-
good. It was
but-
good times.
You can get that. You can get the whole. Okay, you had Anthrax. Who else?
Motorhead.
and Slayer.
Okay, if you want to Slayer, fucking Mayhem has Slayer every other year.
Oh, I don't deny it.
Yeah, every other year. Hold on, let me finish. And then Anthrax, it has their fucking mini Big Four tour every other 6 months.
Well, yeah,
and
they were out with,
then-
Testament for a while there, I know.
Yeah, exactly. This is like the fucking third run for the same tour. So you can catch Anthrax whenever. And who was the other band?
It was Slayer.
Slayer.
All
No,
these
we already
bands-
mentioned Slayer,
Yeah.
Anthrax, and who else?
It was Anthrax, Motorhead, and Slayer.
Motorhead, you could just catch him in Gigantor.
Well,
every other year. Literally, they're just like Slayer.
I have to say though, this was my first time seeing Anthrax. It was a great show. Lemmy was amazing, and but all these bands are gonna make money. It's a guaranteed. It's Rockstar Mayhem, right? Rockstar Energy Drink. I'm not trying to do any promos,
but the thing is though,
they're gonna make money.
But about these bands on this festival is that they're on the main stage. You're sitting up in the lawn.
Anthrax was on the side stage.
Well, I didn't know that. But regardless,
you weren't there.
Yeah, because I was gonna waste my money on some bullshit concert with asking Alexandria there.
I didn't waste any money either. But, hey,
anyway,
what
I'm saying though, the point I'm getting though is that these very popular bands that are actually worth paying $40 for their own headlining tour. You're paying $40.
That's the problem.
To see a whole fucking tour.
That would not be a $40 ticket if you had Slayer, Anthrax, and Motorhead. They'd probably charge you $70 for that tour.
But I'm saying an example though, like an average. You know, for just Anthrax. Let's just say just Anthrax, or no, it's just Slayer. You're paying $40 at a regular show, like let's say the UIC Pavilion. You still have a good chance of getting close to the band while actually watching the show and enjoying it. But you're gonna pay $40 to go to this festival to watch Slayer 300 yards away.
Yeah, I hear you there.
So, you know, and then Mayhem Festival doesn't make up for it with a side stage. It was the good bands. They grab the shittiest bands possible, the cheapest bands they can possibly grab.
See, that's the wrong. You're going about this all
wrong.
because
when I go to
paying those bands, they're paying to be on there.
Because when I go to a fucking festival, I'm going mainly for the side bands because those are the bands that I actually get to enjoy, and I don't have to sit in a seat or at the very back in the lawn.
Yeah, it's fucking hot though.
I don't mind the heat.
I do.
I don't mind it. I'm a man. I'm
sharing
fucking
a beer.
moving
I
around,
usually don't mind
pounding
the
the
heat.
shit out of everybody.
I usually don't mind the heat, but I will be honest. When I went to Iron Maiden and Alice Cooper this year, I had pit tickets. It was about 106 degrees in that pit, and you were surrounded by sweaty ass people. I didn't last in the pit. I'm not gonna lie. It was just like, oh my god. It was just too much. I mean, well, I was front row too, so you know I was being pummeled at the same time. But
back to Ozzfest.
But yeah, like I don't know, like when it comes to Ozzfest, I've only gone there 3 times. I've only gone to Ozzfest 3 times, and each time has been worth every single moment. I've had memorable moments every time I've gone to Ozzfest. Mayhem Festival, the only memorable moment I've had there was when they had Rob Zombie and Rob Zombie made John 5 break his Fender guitar on stage. That's the only memorable moment I've had at Mayhem Festival. Ozzfest, from the beginning to the end, was memorable. Ozzfest is just memorable. There's no way that Mayhem Festival, Uproar...
Well, don't even throw Uproar into metal. Uproar is not metal.
It's supposed to be metal.
No.
Quotation marks, you just can't see it.
Disturbed and Godsmack are hard rock. They are not metal.
And guess what? Godsmack and whatever that bullshit other bands were, they were on Mayhem Festival. They headlined before.
Yeah, they have been.
So what the fuck does that say about Mayhem Festival?
No, I'm not saying the festival is great. I'm just saying that you do get a couple good bands on there, but I'll look at the same thing.
For me, Ozzfest, every band from the beginning till the very end, from the beginning band, the opening band, all the way up until Ozzy, they're always a good band for me.
I totally disagree.
Because the first Ozzfest I went to was the free Ozzfest, and I don't remember every one of them, but they were all memorable. And they were all so good. And the first time I went there, I listened to them for the first time, and from then I listened to them like Thonic. They were there. I listened to them ever since then. Devil Driver. That's the first time I've ever heard of Devil Driver.
Not a Devil Driver guy.
Devil Driver is a very good show. It's not my type of music, but they're awesome.
They put up a good show.
Yeah, they do.
And that's the first time I ever saw them or ever heard them live ever. Heard their music, period. And they were there last minute. They flew from California to Chicago that same day to cover Ozzfest, and they fucking killed it. That was one of the memorable moments. And then from there on, there was Behemoth ripping off fucking goat heads off on stage and throwing it into the crowd, and there was blood everywhere. Just fucking...
you know what?
Mayhem has none of that.
Let me stop you here. I want to go off a side twist. I don't know if we've done this before or not. I can't remember. Who do you want to see on Ozzfest and or Mayhem Fest?
Oh.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not even going to get into Mayhem Festival, because Mayhem Festival, to me, I could rather fucking sit in the toilet shitting and throwing up all goddamn day. That morbid. I'd rather do that.
The food they sell.
No. I'd rather shit forcefully and throw up all goddamn day rather than go to fucking Mayhem Festival. But for Ozzfest, obviously it has to be Ozzy or Black Sabbath
No,
headlining.
you know what? Scratch that.
It has to be anybody.
You know Ozzy's on there.
All right.
He's a given.
All right. How many bands do I have to pick from?
Let's just say
I'll do
3.
2. I'll do 2.
two?
I want to see Niall. I'd love to see Napalm Death.
Okay, Niall's already done Ozzfest.
But I'd like to see Niall.
Oh,
But should I
love-
pick
on
bands
that.
that have never done Ozzfest?
Look, either or. Just to, who do you think should be on? Who would make a really kick-ass Ozzfest? What are bands that really deserve to get a good show in this country that just do not get the support?
One of them for sure, even though they could do it on their own, but it would fucking kick ass to have them on Ozzfest again, and it would boost Ozzfest so much higher than any other festival in the entire year. One of them would be Rammstein.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
That would
They
be
would-
an interesting.
they
You know
would-
what? I love Rammstein. I think
they're a total headlining band.
they should steer clear of Ozzfest because they would never get the stage show there.
Yeah,
that
that's
they
one
can
thing.
do on
But
their own.
still, regardless though, they would be one band I would want to see at Ozzfest, and the other one would have to be that one's a tough one, man. The second one's a tough one, but Rammstein's for sure.
That's cool.
Damn, man. I have so many bands in my mind right now, I don't even know where to pick from.
I'd like to hear what the audience would love to see.
Well, here,
you can comment, right? They can
Of course,
comment
yeah, they
on.
can go on Facebook.com/Pyro
Yeah.
Radio and write on the wall and tell us what you want to see, what you would like to hear on Ozzfest. But you know what? The one band I feel does deserve the exposure through a festival, big festival like this, would be Revocation.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They're
buddy.
always playing as the openers for every tour they're on, and every time they go on stage, David Davidson
Kill it.
and everybody else on that band kills it on stage every single time. I've seen Revocation 3 times, and each time they get better and better and better. So Revocation, I feel, has to be on Ozzfest because they're one of those bands that just they deserve it. They've been busting their balls for so long. They deserve to be one of those big name bands.
Okay, well, here's my bands. Okay, first off, as far as Mayhem Fest is concerned, I will gain respect for that festival when they actually put the band Mayhem on Mayhem Fest. I'm almost positive
Yeah.
it would never happen, just because Mayhem would scare away every kid at that show.
What if Mayhem sued Rockstar's energy drink for using that name?
I don't know if they
Would
could.
they be
because
able to?
Mayhem's a band name, and that's a festival name. I mean, it technically the trademark is only good for what they use it for. That's how or at least that's how trademarks work in the U.S. Is it's based on class of goods.
Oh, I see.
So if you have a Mayhem T-shirt line and a Mayhem car, they're two separate entities.
Damn it. That would have been an interesting fight, wouldn't it have
There is
been?
one very well-known exception to that, and that's the Olympics. Because Olympic was a word created by the Olympics, they trademarked it under every class of goods. So if they really wanted to, they could sue you for...
Beer Olympics. You can get
Yeah.
sued for that?
You technically could.
Oh, hell no.
As long as it has the word Olympics in it, pretty much, right?
Right, Olympics or Olympic.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Not Olympia, because Olympia was a mountain.
This is
in
Olympic
Greece.
Radio. Here with Tim, Yvonne, and Mike.
Oh, God.
And here come the lawsuits.
I have no ties or affiliations.
No
with this
ties.
jurisdiction. As far as Ozzfest, some of the bands I would really love to see get more exposure in this country in general. First off, I'm a huge Running Wild fan. A lot of people don't even know who that band is.
I do.
But Running Wild is the first pirate metal band. They play thrash metal. They came out in the 80s. And originally they were best described to me as if members of Iron Maiden and Judas Priest were on a pirate ship. If you don't know who Running Wild is, check them out. They're pretty awesome. I want to see Gorgoroth come to the U.S. I don't know if it'll happen due to criminal charges in the past. And last but not least, they've come here only once. They played one show, and that is Tarot. For those of you who don't know Tarot, that is
Yes.
Marco from Nightwish's other band, his original band.
He's awesome. It's a great band. It's one of my favorites, and I know we're going to talk about Nightwish in a second, right,
Yeah, we're
Mike?
going to talk about Nightwish in the next segment after this break, but, you know, like, just enough of the tour news, but, again, we like to throw random bits of information for you guys. Dillinger Escape Plan, if you're a fan of Dillinger Escape Plan, they actually just signed to Sumerian Records. And Sumerian Records, if you don't know who they are, they have Veil of Maya, Born of Osiris, both from Chicago. But yeah, it's stuff like that. Periphery, it's music like that. But Dillinger Escape Plan is the newest personnel to Sumerian Records roster. Just a random bit of news for you guys there. But yeah, we're gonna go to a break. You're listening to Pyro Radio, and here's some more metal for you guys. Enjoy.
It's a whipping. Resounding from day from what you think says on day.
And welcome back to Pyro Radio. I'm Mike, and I'm here with...
Call me Darth Balls.
We're here with Tim.
And Yvonne.
And you were just listening to The Awakening by Aenimus, another band from California. And we were just talking about Tim's bush. Because we've been talking about... the whole show, we've been talking about Yvonne's Brazilian wags. But Tim, how big is your bush?
Well, I shaved, buddy. Sorry.
You shave all the way.
Yep.
But it's November.
I don't give a damn.
God damn.
I'm a nonconformist.
All right, so you're completely shaven.
Yeah.
No, he's
Lady.
not. I don't believe it. Battle of the shade.
Show her why I look away.
Ew, no.
All right, what? Ladies, Lord Timothy is clean, shaven,
And he's also single.
and single. And he's blonde.
I look like a Viking.
He does. He really does, though.
He's got long blonde hair and beard.
He's kind of burly, ladies.
And if you ask me, I'll wear a kilt, too.
That's true. He's got kilts and boots and leather cuffs.
Yeah, bracers, you name it.
All kinds of good stuff.
Excuse my coughing. I'm still a little sick. If you guys are
Unacceptable!
I know, man. My fucking Viking blood is like failing me this week.
Do not have Viking blood?
This week I have pussy blood.
What?
In other words, he's a pussy.
Exactly for the week because
Oh,
I'm
what
sick.
does that mean?
I don't know.
I'll be a Viking next week.
Are you a shaved pussy or a waxed pussy?
I'm in between.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So is that like where you have like stripes waxed in there, but there's
I have
still
fucking
some
claws
longer hair?
strapped in there, man. Like the monster claw and shit. That's right. I make designs, ladies. Anyway. Back to some news in metal. Well, metal and I guess economical news. Twinkies is going out of business.
Actually, I believe that would be Hostess.
Hostess.
Twinkies, Hostess.
They make a lot more than just Twinkies, buddy.
Motherfucker.
Do they
when I
make
think
ho-hos?
Yes.
Ho-Hos.
Those are my favorite growing
Wonder
up.
Bread.
Yeah, but they have Little Debbie versions. They're just called Swiss rolls,
Swiss rolls.
but they're made in the USA.
I like.
But if you
I like
want-
ho-hos better.
But if you want your Twinkies though, you can still buy Twonkies.
Twonkies?
They're they're fucking at Aldi.
Oh.
Pass. No, you know, I know the whole Swiss roll story because
My Viking brother wants Twinkies, damn it.
I interviewed Olivetti once, and the guy who interviewed him before me brought them a box of Swiss rolls because they're from Switzerland, and they were just cracking up over it too because and they're showing it to me, and it says in huge letters on the box, "Made in USA,"
Well, that's good. At least it's.
but they're called Swiss rolls, and they gave them to a Swiss band.
Yeah. That's insulting, though. I guess.
They thought it was hilarious, so they didn't.
I
care.
guess. Yeah, but those Swiss, you got to be careful with the Swiss and the Swedes and the Finns and.
What?
Yeah.
Man, bring me any fucking pastry while I'm on tour. I don't give a shit. You just saved me $5 from a box of fucking pastries.
You know what? I've got to argue it there. I've been on tour, not even a long tour. I was on a 2-week tour, and all they ate was gas station food. I wanted to just die.
They gave you plates of ketchup and ham and shit, right?
That was at one show. Yeah, it was the meal they provided us with was.
Were you guys at in Virginia or some shit?
No, this was all these were all Texas.
I
days.
fucking knew it. That was my second guess.
We got better
You
food in
fucking
Mexico
Texas.
than we did in Texas. So
Wait, did you guys get tacos in Mexico?
a couple times, yes.
Oh, yes. I bet they were
Giant
delicious.
burritos, that kind of junk.
Burritos is a U.S. creation, though.
I know.
Dude,
well,
you're
they
making-
had them in Mexico.
All right, enough with the food. You're making me hungry. Continue.
But anyway, I forget what city it was now, but one of the cities for the meal for, let's see, I believe it was 5 guys. They gave us one fun-sized bag of Fritos, one fun-sized bag of Cheetos, a package of ham from like 7-Eleven, no bread, a package of microwave popcorn without a microwave. God, I'm trying to remember what
You know what? You don't even need to continue.
Cocktail sauce, some expired individual serving size canned fruit.
All right, let me stop you right there. That's enough. You don't have to like 1, 2,
3, 4.
3, 4, and a punch. What the fuck? That was a quadruple face palm and a punch. The hell were you guys? The hell, man?
It wasn't their fault. It was.
I know,
that's
but
what they
still,
were
what
given.
the fuck?
It was
But on the
horrible.
plus side, they
I
did
would've
pay our
killed
full
myself.
guarantee that night, so I think we went to Whataburger.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I'm not a real fan of Whataburger. It was really greasy. I mean, as far as fast food goes, they were really greasy.
So what are we talking about next, Mike?
All right. So we were talking about Twinkies, and but yeah, we were talking about Twinkies and Hostess, and how how they're all going out of business. Everybody's making a big deal about it, but And I fucking saw this coming. I fucking saw this coming a mile away. I knew somebody was gonna blame Obama for it.
Ah, here we go.
I knew it. And guess who it was?
Our favorite.
Dave Mustaine. That's the first thing he did. Blame Obama. Blame the black man.
Hold on. I do have a question for you.
What's up?
What was the source on this? Because, you know, I've heard things like this before. Like, I remember...
Blabbermouth and Ultimate Guitar.
Okay, because I remember during the
That's
election,
enough.
someone claimed that he was supporting Rick Santorum or something.
He did.
And he said, I never said that.
He did.
He just made some kind of, like, comment about, well, he's a good candidate, but he didn't say he was backing him or anything.
Well, he's always taking back the shit that he says, and you know
Always.
what? He's got to shut
But
his
we'll
mouth.
get right back to that comment right now. But Dave Mustaine, I love the man. He comes up with great music, but god damn it, Dave, just shut your fucking mouth. I love you, but shut your fucking mouth when it comes to politics, please.
Okay.
Because Twinkies and Hostess has nothing to do with Obama. It was all about bankruptcy, the unions, and the CEOs. And fuck, just Dave, shut the fuck up. Because at this point, back to your point where you were just talking about how he was just retracting his comments. The only reason he's retracting his comments is because the rest of the band in Megadeth is telling him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're fucking embarrassed by him at this point.
And at this point, Sean Drover, his drummer, has stated any political comment that Dave Mustaine says does not represent the rest of Megadeth. That's Dave, not myself, not whoever else in the fucking band. That's him. And at that point, Dave, you just gotta realize you gotta shut your fucking mouth, because you're clearly embarrassing the rest of your fucking band. When the drummer is separating himself and the rest of the band for you,
You know what,
like,
though?
what? You're just like, holy shit, dude.
I want to know if Dave Mustaine is the most hated band frontman right now.
Oh, hell no.
No.
There's
So
plenty
who
of guys.
else?
I mean,
Corey Taylor.
there's probably...
I'm
more-
sorry, but I hate that
I
fucking
mean, don't get me
douchebag.
wrong. I love Megadeth. And, you know, I have to ask myself, just because I've worked with some publicity stuff before, would it be that surprising if the stuff that he says like that is just publicity and nothing more? And he's like, hey, I'm going to make this statement about Twinkies being Obama's fault, and then telling his other... Who was it that said it?
Sean Drover?
Yeah, Sean Drover. And tell him, I'm going to make this statement, and I want you to just deny it. Just because it creates publicity for the band.
Yeah, you at some point you have to ask, you know, how involved the band is. I mean, after all, they've not fired Dave Mustaine. They're not going to. They're all making money.
Well,
off
technically,
Dave's
if you think,
band.
yeah, that's Dave's band.
it. Doesn't matter.
It's all
Dave
him.
Mustaine is Megadeth.
And
If
so-
Dave Mustaine is not in Megadeth, there's no Megadeth.
So they'll, you know, it's ridiculous, all of it.
Okay.
Hence why Sean Drover was like, those are Dave's comments, but where the rest of the band is separating himself from his comments.
Okay, you know what? Speaking of Twinkies here, just because I've heard some crazy rumors out there, I went onto eBay and I typed in Twinkie to see what we got. And the cheapest item I found is 1 cent for a slightly used Hostess strawberry cupcake, which is a cupcake with a bite out of it.
And it's not even in the package, so it's probably like
It's for one-
stale
well,
at
it
this point.
says with original display. And the most expensive outside of websites like iliketwinkies.com that they're selling, there is one for $1 million is a charity box of 10 Twinkies, and half of the proceeds will be donated to a charity of your choice.
Are there any bids on that, Tim?
Let's see. Oh, shipping's $9.45.
Are you kidding me? So we needed $9 for those 10 Twinkies.
It's coming from California. And no, but still, even with half of the money going to charity here,
It's just like
they're
fuck people.
paying $500,000 for a box of
They
Twinkies.
are still Twonkies at Aldi.
Twonkies. Get your
Twonkies.
Twonkies.
And the price is on the box printed. It says $3.99 for the box.
Well, the thing is always like if you realize it, Twinkies is such a big. Apparently, they're such a big part of our country.
It's an American icon.
Yeah, it's an icon that some other country is going to pick up the recipe and continue it.
Oh, I'm sure Little Debbie will start selling them or something like
Yeah.
that. But the fact of the matter is, simply put, guys, apparently Twinkies will not survive a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah. So long, cream filling.
Do not pay attention to Family Guy. But next topic, though. Did you guys hear about the news about Chris Brown wearing a punk metal leather jacket that had a bunch of patches from a bunch of metal bands, and one of them included Municipal Waste?
Yes. Sorry.
And I believe I heard what Municipal Waste responded with, too.
Yeah, and they seemed to care, but then at the same time they didn't. But here's what Municipal Waste had to say. Quote unquote. This is what they said on Twitter. For the record, Chris Brown can sport our shit all he wants. We still think he's a fucking moron. Quote unquote.
Thank you, Municipal Waste.
Thank you. That's why we love you.
Yeah, the Municipal Waste guys are always awesome. But going back to Justin Bieber
Or Chris Brown.
Justin Bieber did also do the same thing. It was a Sodom patch, I think, that got people kind of upset.
Well, he was wearing a Sodom patch because he was hoping to get some sodomy.
Sodomized.
Well, he's been getting sodomized.
Yeah.
Hobo.
But but let's talk about this, right? Because you've got these like mainstream people. They're not metal, but it's like, who owns the right to, wear a metal patch or something like that, or a metal t-shirt?
Well, anyone can wear it.
Anybody can.
Anybody can, but the thing is, though, that this jacket was made by this specific designer. And I read the article for this designer for, where did he have it? He had it over at, I think Metal Injection. Metal Injection. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go on Facebook and correct me. But I read the article, and he clearly specifies that he goes to these band shows. He, out of his own pocket, he buys the patches, and these patches he adds them onto these leather jackets or whatever specific clothing he's putting it on. So these patches got him out of his pocket. So he paid for these patches, and they're going onto the jacket, and then he's making a profit off the jacket / the patch. But the thing that pissed this designer off was that Chris Brown bought the jacket just because it looked cool.
Of course.
And but the designer, though, he actually has how can I put it, a connection to these bands, the way he grew up, because he had a tough life from what I read from the article. So it's just like,
which is why he beats women, because he had a fucking hard ass life. I'm sorry, I'm not a Chris Brown fan. And you know what? Going back to the whole, Sodom Municipal Waste, like these are metal icon bands, man, and they're fucking still fucking amazing, doing great stuff, still playing, and anybody can wear the patches and the shirts and stuff like that, but I think that it does, I don't know, maybe the reason why that we're all so sensitive about it is because we know that we're very much connected to metal.
Yeah,
we're connected to these bands, and it's like, why? It just seems like it's getting more commercial.
Yeah, metal we're a family. We're not like pop music where a fucking 5-year-old will listen to Katy Perry and sing some perverted ass song over and over, and their parents won't care.
Right.
Metal, we care about the guitars, the drums, the bass, every single vocal lyric that is coming out of that singer's voice, whether it be guttural or clean. Metal is a fucking family, and clearly Chris Brown does not give a shit because he's fucking singing about running some shit. Running it, whatever. I don't know what the fuck this song was, all right? And he's beating a chick in a car for looking at his phone. It's just like, that is not a family. Pop music is not a family.
Right.
It's like you're always constantly judging each other and trying to find what's better than the last person. Let's find Britney Spears being better than... Let's try to make Britney Spears better than Lady Gaga. No. Metal is Municipal Waste. Can be just as good as Metallica.
All right,
That's the thing about metal. Nobody's ever trying to be better than somebody else.
So then my question is metal mainstream?
American
is it poppy? Is it poppy?
No.
I mean, we've got a lot of examples of where metal is like getting poppy.
Metal can be seen poppy like deathcore or metalcore. They're gonna say, "Oh, that's the poppy side of metal."
Nightwish with that.
That is impossible. Metal is never, ever, 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 ever going to be poppy at all. Metal is never going to be mainstream at all. it's always going to be at a fucking league of its own. And unfortunately,
Well-
as much as I would like for it to go mainstream, it's never going to happen.
You know what? I think it will go mainstream slowly but surely, and it is already in America.
If you think
But
about
every time a genre of metal goes mainstream, they form a new genre that's more brutal and more painful than the last.
Yeah, if you think about it, though, the only time that I can actually think in my mind that metal actually went mainstream was hair metal with Motley Crue, Skid Row, Van Halen.
Where do you fit Metallica into all of this?
Yeah, Metallica.
For
is the
example.
They
definition
went
of
mainstream for Enter Sandman and
Black Album. From the Black Album on, they were mainstream.
Yeah, for the Black Album and Justice for All. After that, that's it. Everything else was underground. Well, technically.
Wait, you consider Load
I
and
said
Reload
technically.
underground?
That's why I said technically. They can't see my hand signs.
Insane Anger? My God, that stuff was not under... The best album that they've had since the Black Album, or since before the Black Album, was Death Magnetic. And then they went and released Lulu after that. And, you know, they can, like I say, they can say all they want. Well, Lulu's not actually a Metallica album.
Well,
whatever.
we shouldn't consider Metallica into this conversation. We're talking more of, let's say, fucking Dying Fetus and Allegan and Cradle of Filth, that kind of metal.
I'm really torn about this, though.
And Municipal Waste.
Right.
Well, you know what? I have a perfect response for you. About a year and a half ago, Immortal came to the United States on tour. I went to that show. It was a sold-out show, and I'd say it was about 5% metalheads, 95% hipsters.
Hell no.
I am not kidding you. It was just...
But if you think about it, though, they've been around for so long. These hipsters say they're not mainstream anymore, so let's like them now. That's the hipster thing, though.
I know, but that's my point. Is these hipsters, their whole stance is we're trying to do something original and underground, but 95% of the crowd was them. That's not original and underground.
But the thing is, though, they bought that fucking show before the actual metalheads could gather the money to actually attend the show.
Oh, I know.
Because if you think about it, any real metalhead understands the cost of a ticket for, like, Immortal. Immortal,
you know what? I don't blame Immortal.
That is not going to be a cheap ticket. Us metalheads, we don't always have the money. These hipsters are still living with their parents. They're still living with their mom and dads, or freeloading off of them somehow, so they get the money off of them. I know plenty of hipsters, and they're freeloading off of their parents and getting their money and using them for tickets. Us metalheads, though, some of us might be living with our parents still, but not all of us are freeloading off of our parents
Well,
like the hipsters are.
I gotta disagree with this. I think metal is a working class sport, which is why we all feel so strongly about it. You know, the whole mainstream topic, right? Because we work for our metal, right?
Exactly.
Metalheads, metal bands have always been. You know, they have jobs, they have families, and, you know, you look at Corpse Grinder, right, from Cannibal Corpse, and he's got a freaking family, and, you know, he's got to take care of them. I mean, look, all I'm saying is this, you know, we were talking about New York earlier. Mm-hmm. When I went to New York a couple years back, CBGB, I'm sorry, I've been drinking. They had a bar, and it was a lot of metal and punk and underground stuff, and that's since been closed down. And me and my friend were looking for metal in New York, and there was really nothing until we saw a bunch of metalheads in Times Square, and they were there for a Stradivarius show. And thankfully we ran into that, but it's just like, let's look at what's happening like across the globe, because we did talk about New York. New York doesn't have a metal scene. You know, I hope Chicago doesn't go down that very road with,
it's on its way.
You know, it is on its way, but I have hope.
But like just like you were saying, but like what I was saying is that these hipsters, they're not working for their money. They're freeloading off their parents. This is the big hipster thing. Nobody notices, but I do, because I unfortunately have a lot of hipster friends. I know. And
I don't have hipster friends.
I have hipster friends, but I'm not one of those people to judge them for who they are. They're, their thing.
Who cares what they are?
But the thing is that, like you were saying, us metalheads, we actually work for our metal. We want to be there. Like, for example, Maryland Death Fest. There are so many metalheads out there. working their asses off right now at this moment to save money just so they can go to Meriden Death Fest to buy their tickets, the 3 days, buy hotel tickets, airplane tickets, or bus tickets to get there and attend the show. Will a hipster do that? Or a pop fan do that to go see a 3-day concert of Beyonce, Rihanna, Kesha, and all that bullshit? No.
They do for Lollapalooza here in Chicago.
Yeah, but that's 1 day.
It's 3 days.
The 3 days, but that doesn't count though, because it's a variety of shit though. But I mean, like one genre, just like Meriden Death Fest is just straight metal.
You know what?
There's
Speaking of Lollapalooza, I'm gonna throw it out there. I love you guys, but what the fuck, Black Sabbath? What the fuck?
True story.
But yeah, like there's no other kind of fan that's gonna work their asses off to get to one festival for 3 days, tickets for hotel, bus, or airplane, and the concert.
Oh yeah.
Nobody. But a metalhead.
All right, so I guess the main
Trans
point of this whole thing is right here: buy your tickets for Winter Sun now before the hipsters do.
Exactly.
Screw you, Chris Brown.
Yeah, screw you, Chris Brown, because you don't support metal at all whatsoever. You don't know jack shit about it, and nobody fucking likes you.
And you beat women.
And then Rihanna does the same fucking thing. She had municipal waste for the back part
She
of her album.
did.
I noticed it too, and then I was like, "Are you fucking shitting me? This bitch thinks she knows about anything about metal, but she doesn't."
You know what though? I should throw
Is it
something
in
out
the-
there. Municipal waste. You're probably going to be making a shit ton of money now from everyone buying your CD.
We can only hope.
But you know what? We support municipal waste, so.
Right.
We love that band. They're awesome.
Oh, and in reference to pop culture, Nightwish, thank you. Thank you very much.
Can we get into
And
that
yeah,
now?
speaking of Nightwish, good call.
Segue.
Yeah, good segue. Nightwish, as you all know, they kicked out, what the fuck's her name, Annette,
Annette.
whatever.
That-
They
something
kicked her
wrong.
off because she was being a total fucking diva and shit.
Well,
Thank
dude,
God.
she was doing a lot. She turned the band into a
I
pop
read
star.
the
I
whole
mean,
fucking press release shit. Like, why
They-
wouldn't a
they
band
kinda-
cancel the show because
They
I'm sick and
kind
blah,
of
blah.
apologized. Nightwish even kind of apologized. Not fully, but kind
Yeah,
of
you know what? Fuck that
apologized for the
apologize.
last 2 albums.
Regardless, though, they got Floor
Floor
Johnson.
Johnson, yeah.
Floor Johnson.
And we watched the music video, the live music video for something Tears. What the hell's the name?
Give me my tears
Yeah,
back.
Give Me
or
My
something.
Tears Back.
What's it
the
called?
live performance about it, and my God,
So
I got a
have
huge man boner from that.
I have an opinion
Floor.
as a woman. Okay, Floor Jansen, good job. I think that she's got awesome stage presence. She can move. She is a beautiful person. She's got a great voice, but I still think it's kind of mainstream. And she's only temporary, right? Cause
No,
they-
she's
it now?
full time now.
For now,
All right.
until they mention
So,
something else.
I mean, I think it's working. I think she's she's not Tarya, but
She's not Tarya,
and Tarya-
but
they're-
she's also not Annette.
she's not Annette.
Thank God.
But dude, if you guys get a chance to just see Floor Jansen perform on YouTube or even live, hopefully they'll come back. Do you know if they're coming back, Tim? No.
They don't have anything planned right now,
she's
and I'm
great.
in tears because I actually had to catch one of the last shows with Annette.
Yeah, but you know what? I gotta say this. When I first started listening to Nightwish, it was with Annette, and so I feel like I can't wait. Hold on, give me a chance
Tim
here.
is face palming himself.
He's face palming, but in all honesty, like, thank you, Annette, because I do think that it's hard. It's hard being a woman in metal, and it's hard to deal with the
there
egos.
There were some high expectations for her.
There
as
were
well.
some high expectations, and maybe at the time the band was trying to go in a different, more maybe even mainstream direction that they're not talking about. Let's be honest here, okay? Because it's not like they just pulled Annette from out of nowhere. Like, for a band like Nightwish, you have to do probably some tryouts or something like that.
Actually, I did hear a story. I don't know how accurate this is, so don't quote me. But the story I heard is that Nightwish didn't even want Annette in the band. It was their manager who also managed Annette, and he kind of Frankensteined them.
Well,
I don't know if that's true or not, but nonetheless, I think Floor Jansen is definitely a step in the right direction, and I might actually go see Nightwish again.
look,
Nightwish has never caught my attention at all before, but after I watched that video,
you're in love now, Mike.
I'm in love with Floor. That woman just,
You hear that, ladies? Mike loves the floor.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so
I'm not a table.
Is
I
she
love the floor.
Finnish or something? Is she Finnish or is she Swedish?
Who?
Flor Jansen. That's
I'm not actually sure where she's from. Give me a minute.
Yeah, let's
Tim will
look
it up.
that up.
But regardless, though, after I watched that, I was like, the vocals for her, the female vocals, that sounded so much better because I've always listened to everything before, and everything sounded for me personally, it sounded very bland. But when I listened to Flor earlier in the today, I was just like, she's very good.
I gotta say,
really
she
good.
doesn't distract, where her voice isn't distracting to the rest of the band. I feel like there is some a really good synchronicity, I feel like, musically. But yeah, dude, she's got some awesome stage presence.
Yeah,
and if
does.
nothing else,
that's
us
one
metalheads
reason,
go to the shows for stage presence.
Yeah, that's
or
one reason
energy.
I fell in love with her. Not just because she's so fucking hot, but the stage presence is like, holy shit, she knows what to do on stage. She's not
She's
moving
very
around
seasoned.
and trying to like be a fucking stage hog, you know?
All right. Well, in response to the question, she is a Dutch soprano, and for those of you who don't know, her previous bands include After Forever and Revamp. And I got to throw this out there because I actually did read the press release also in response to what you were saying about Annette facing the metal scene or whatever. The problem with that whole situation, and Annette proved this 100% during her press release, she was never meant to be in the metal scene in the first place. When she left the band, she was quoted as saying, I believe it was, if Britney was sick, Rihanna wouldn't fill in for her.
So how long was Annette with the band in the first place? Do you know how long?
Well, I know she did 2 albums, 2 full-length albums, and 1 live album. And I do also remember that immediately after joining the band, she got pregnant, and the band had to go on hiatus.
Oh, wow. So, you know what? I think it's really interesting just to have seen, these 3 faces of front women in such a great band. And I'm really, really excited about what's going to be next for Nightwish. Because I think with each front woman is a new type of energy. The band transforms and evolves with each person. And I kind of like that. I think the circumstances have been unfortunate, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, in the past, after we did, in the magazine, we reviewed Dark Passion Play. And after that review, which, by the way, was... you know what, I'm not even going to comment on the review. You can look it up if you really want to read it. But basically, we had decided after that album that we were not going to cover Nightwish album reviews anymore. Just because we no longer viewed it as metal in our eyes. I mean, it was a totally different style and genre. But I think that when Nightwish releases an album with Flor Jansen, I think we'll at least give it a listen and probably do a review of it.
Yeah, I really love to hear from everybody tuning in to see what it is that they feel about Nightwish and their evolution and Flor Jansen. I think, again, we're really, really excited to see what's going to happen with Nightwish. I think me and Tim are really, really big Nightwish fans, so...
Yeah, I'm barely I'm just getting into Nightwish because, I know, shame on myself, but I'm barely getting into Nightwish, but like Yvonne just said, you are always more than welcome to join the conversation. Go on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Pyro Radio, and post on the wall and tell us what you think. You're more than welcome to, and we actually want to hear what you think, and we'll respond to it right away because, the conversation can keep going because as a metalhead, we can go on forever. But we're actually going to go on a break right now. Here's some more metal here on Pyro Radio.
that was Ode to Calico Jack by...
Skogfødt.
And I didn't have to pronounce jack shit because I couldn't pronounce it to begin with. Anyway,
He likes
welcome
skills.
back to Pyro Radio with myself, my gorgeous voice, Mike, and
My gorgeous voice, Yvonne.
I'm not telling you my name.
Lord Timothy. Oh, what? You're not gorgeous, Yvonne. You're very gorgeous.
Aw,
voice.
thank you, Mike.
Notice nobody said I was gorgeous.
Tim, you're a bear. You're
You're
a beast.
a beast.
Okay, I can go.
You're a Nordic beast. Just so everybody knows, Tim is more Nordic than me.
Yeah, I'm 1% Swedish.
Hell
And Mike,
yeah.
you're Italian, right? You're an Italian stallion.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes, ma'am.
I'm black and Puerto Rican, so any of y'all that like some chocolate, holla.
All right, guys. I'm going to go on home with Yvonne today. Sorry.
No,
Ignore
you
the
can't,
rest.
Mike. You're my employee. You can't do it.
Technically, right now, I am your boss.
Oh!
Actually, I'm more of a
burn.
boss.
Oh! I'm both of your bosses, assholes.
As
I'm
you
your
can
boss,
tell, guys,
too.
we're extremely wasted at this point. We're exhausted. We've been going at this for a
I'm not
while.
wasted at all.
Shut up, Tim.
I'm
just naturally
buzzed.
crazy.
You might be wasted.
All right, I'm the only one.
Tim is fucking sober.
I had a shot of whiskey.
You're sober. You're a big Nordic ass.
So, what are we talking about, Mike? You've got the bullet points.
Good point.
Yeah.
First bullet point means I'm taking Yvonne home tonight.
No, he's not.
I'm not.
No, he's not. He
I'm
wishes.
I wish. All of you guys get on Facebook and hit her clean vagina up.
Ew!
What do you mean,
Send
ew?
her
You know what?
flowers.
We were just talking about your Brazilian
We were talking
wax.
about my vajay, yes. But I'll have you know that I'm very, very picky. Extremely picky. So.
She likes big arms.
I like
Mine
big
are
arms.
medium size. So
So
I don't qualify, unfortunately.
I'm also, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm pagan, I'm a Cancer, so
You
Figure
must
it
be
out.
very.
Kill you.
Whoa, wait, hold
I'll
on.
cut you.
End of the show. She's Cancer. She's mine.
Oh.
Kidding. Anyway,
Oh, can I give a quick shout out, Mike?
yes, you can.
This one, okay, since we're drinking at the same time, I want to give a shout out to my boy Joe Cordova, who used to be in the band Dead Cerberus, and they're no longer together, unfortunately, but he's been working on a new website called 2-Day Hangover, and if you go on the website 2dayhangover.com, they've got some videos where they're doing beer reviews and they're getting drunk the entire time, and I gotta tell you, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. So shout out to 2-Day Hangover and Joe Chode.
Is that the number 2 or spelled out 2?
Number 2.
Okay, and I have been to that site. Great stuff. Very funny.
They
Check it
even
out,
do
guys.
your daily booties. So if you guys like
Daily
daily
booties.
booty, go on Facebook.
No
and
Pornhub for you. Deli booties.
daily booty.
But that was a shameless plug right there. That's a truly shameless plug.
It was.
But that's okay. That's what Pyro Radio is here for. Why? Because we're a podcast and we're independent and we don't give a fuck.
That's
No
right.
fucks are given here. But anyway, back to some more metal news. If you like Devin Townsend, and he came out with Epic Cloud this year, which was just one album this year, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, last year it was 2 albums with something about Mighty Masturbator and some ambient sounding album. I can't think of the names off the top of my head because I was a fan of both of them, but god damn, we listen to so much music that we can't remember the name of the albums. But Devin Townsend will apparently be coming out with 3 albums. Not 1, not 2, but 3 albums.
How many?
3!
Whoa.
Right
In the year
on.
of 2013. Devin Townsend, he is a fucking musical genius. He can come up with metal, ambient, and poppy sounding music at the same time.
It's true. I think these Canadians are doing some interesting
know, right?
shit right now. Yeah.
Fucking Canadians, man.
They're on
They-
it. They're killing
Yeah,
it.
It's not about America anymore. Not America. Not America.
Not in America.
It's about Canada.
It's the Canucks.
I know, right? And, yeah, just go check out Devin Townsend. 3 albums next year.
That's a lot. What is he doing? Is he on
He's
drugs
a fucking
to like produce this stuff.
Like, well, you guys know me already, by personally.
Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
I don't know. Who are you?
I am your overlord.
Shut up, Tim.
This metal moment brought to you by theofferingwebzine.com.
Another shameless plug by Yvonne. Anyway, but you guys know me personally, and you guys know I'm a fucking workaholic. I'm either working with podcasts or the magazine or some random bullshit. And I can write only so much for the magazine and podcast so much for you guys, which is only once a week. And I just don't get how Devin Townsend can write so much music in a matter of a year.
It's Devin Townsend on coke. I'm not saying he's on drugs, though. I'm not saying that.
He was
I'm
on
just
drugs.
saying. Well, all I'm saying is that he's a fucking mastermind right now, and he's been doing some good shows too.
I've been wanting to go to the shows. I wanted to go to his Strapping Young Lad, the last Strapping Young Lad show. I didn't go to that. I didn't have money for it. Then when I heard Devin Townsend was coming to Chicago at the House of Blues with Children of Bodom, I was like, I shit my pants. I was like, I have to go. Guess what? I didn't go.
And you didn't really shit your pants either.
I shit my
yet,
pants.
Oh, did you?
Are you dead yet?
I wish I was.
No, don't say that.
After seeing the latest Bodom concert, I wish I was.
I wasn't there, so I'm not dead yet. But yeah, I didn't see that concert, and then Devin Townsend came to Chicago maybe 3 times headlining, and I still couldn't make it because the label wouldn't give me the fucking interview, or he was booked with interviews.
Okay, so Devin
Townsend was.
We want to interview you too.
Get your fucking bald ass on Pyro Radio because we fucking love you.
And the Offering magazine.
And the Offering magazine, of course.
Shameless plugs.
God damn.
We're doing a good job.
Last segment of the show was shameless plugs. You guys had a whole hour beforehand.
Wait, when are we doing Craigslist Creepers? I'm excited about that.
Whoa, hold on.
I know, I'm getting ahead, but I'm so excited.
Hold on. Tim, Yvonne's got this shit fucked up.
Oh?
She called it Craigslist Creepers.
Yeah, it's creeps.
Oh.
Creeps, woman.
Creeps.
Oops, it's my first time, y'all. I am
Whoa, hold on now.
I
She
am
just
a
said
pyro.
Y'all. She said y'all. We're from the Midwest.
I am a Pyro Radio virgin.
The fuck?
But you must know that we might be the Midwest, but we are very close to the South, and we have a lot of Southern influences here.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
I don't see
Don't make me pull out the history.
Oh,
book,
that's 'cause
Honey
you're
Boo Boo. I did say Honey Boo Boo. All right.
Wait, hold on. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ow! 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 I got fucking 10 face palms from myself and Tim. And some imaginary person in this fucking studio, and goddamn, that shit hurt. Fucking Yvonne.
Come on now.
Ah, no!
Hey, Honey Boo Boo, we want to interview you too, okay?
Ow! That was brutally painful.
Yvonne, that fucking
I'm
hurt.
sorry, guys.
Please stop.
I'm just keeping it real.
Make the bad woman stop.
Ow!
All right, can we talk about Craigslist?
No, not yet.
Aw.
First, we gotta get out over here. With some video games.
Boom.
Not my area, guys.
Well, it's your area now. Because we're in the studio, and I'm looking across the room, and I don't have glasses, and I can't see from far away. And I'm looking at a yellow cartridge, and I call Donkey Kong 64. Am I right, Sim?
That's what it is, yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm done.
Can we talk about Corpse Grinder being, like, addicted to WoW right now?
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about that.
Corpse Grinder is addicted to World of Warcraft.
Is he still? I know he was for a while.
He still is.
How do you get unaddicted from that?
Oh, it's impossible. I mean,
I never played
Is
it.
he in celebrity
I
rehab for
played
that
it.
The
shit?
closest thing I've gotten to World of Warcraft is Skyrim.
I played it for 6
And
months
that
and had
is
to get
addicting.
off of it because it eliminated my life.
I didn't play any of the Elder Scrolls until Skyrim, and then last night during Black Friday, I actually bought Oblivion. And then I found out it was 2 discs, and I was like, fuck my life. There goes my life. There goes my social life. No girlfriend, no magazine, and no podcast. Sorry, guys.
I gotta tell you, I've never dated anybody who's a gamer, and I probably won't ever, because I
Hey,
think it's
baby.
lame. Take your hands off me, Mike, for real. Honey Boo Boo. Okay.
Look, honey, boo boo. I want your vagina.
And it's waxed. So.
Oh, even better.
But
My Nordic ass wants that shit.
you're
rolled
not Nordic.
wax.
You're Italian.
Close enough, damn it.
Do they have Italian video games?
Assassin's Creed. That's the closest thing.
Assassin's Creed? I've never heard of that, but it sounds metal.
Face palm yourself, damn it.
Assassin's
all
Creed.
over TV.
Really? I don't watch TV, guys.
It's the Italian fighting the Civil War.
Oh. Okay. Is there any Viking video games or anything like that?
Skyrim.
What's Skyrim? It sounds homosexual.
You know what? Just stop smacking yourself.
I know.
Just-
It's hurting my
Let's
face.
just understand that she's
All right,
not a
there's
gamer.
Skyrim. What is there?
Dude, I'm not going
Skyrim.
into just
I asked about Viking.
Skyrim.
No. How about some video games that have the best metal soundtrack?
Ooh,
Let's talk about that.
Brutal Legend.
yeah,
Brutal Legend. Fuck Guitar Hero. Fuck Rock Band. Brutal Legend.
Tell me about Brutal Legend, because I have no idea. But
Well, that's an older one now too, isn't it?
I think it came out like 2008.
Yeah. What system was that?
It came out on 360 and PS3.
Oh. I'm
But,
gonna see if I can find a copy of that to try it out.
I actually
I
have
heard
it.
a lot about it.
so at what point do they play these metal tracks, and are
The
they
whole game
signed bands?
From
Oh, yeah.
start to finish.
Should we be
And if
doing...
you like Skeleton Witch,
Oh,
you got
yes.
it.
There. To
Really?
be
Like,
like, they're in there.
they're-
That's awesome.
there's every metal legend is in there, from the biggest to the smallest.
I believe
And at that
Motorhead-
time,
yeah, Motorhead's
in
I know.
there. Obviously, Jack Black is in there because that's his video
That's
game.
cool. I love Jack Black.
Jack Black is the main character,
I
actually.
am a Jack Black fan.
And then the best part of that game, though, is that you get to kill emos.
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
I gotta play this game.
Tell me more.
You get to kill emos. You get a whole army of metalheads, headbanging metalheads, and then you gotta battle these emos who are obviously cutting themselves. Down the river, not across, motherfuckers. Down the river. That's the way to go. Anyway, yeah, Jack Black's army of metalheads are killing the emos, but if you suck at the game, then obviously the emos are gonna kill you, which shame
That's
on
impossible.
you. But yeah, regardless though, Brutal Legend. If you're a metalhead, you have to play Brutal Legend.
Okay.
Brutal Legend is the fucking game. You will hear everything of metal, everything. Dimmu Borgir, Skeleton Witch, Motorhead.
There's a bunch of them.
Everything. There's
One of
everything
my
in
favorite
there.
bands, which was actually a smaller band, which I heard was in there, was T Van Geste. They were symphonic black metal.
Nice. Do we know anything about the creators? Obviously, they're metalheads.
Well, it's Jack Black's
Yeah,
game.
it's Jack Black's game.
Oh, yeah, you guys did say that. But he's awesome, too, so
and then
he's
after
got
you
the
pass the
Pick of
game, you
Destiny.
can keep playing.
right on. So, if there are any guys listening,
Brutal Legend.
if you play Brutal Legend, I might consider it.
All right.
For its
But-
metal content, that's it.
You must have strong arms.
Strong arms.
And waxed nuts.
No, I actually like the Burly Men.
And which is both me and Tim. But we'll back off because we're employees.
Yeah, you guys are employees.
I'm not an employee. I'm the employer.
Ooh.
This is true. Anyways,
Anyway,
we're talking
but,
about metal.
I need a
Metal.
secretary.
The one thing that I found fucking metal as fuck is the video game. I started playing it again, and we've talked about zombies before. And I'm actually gonna ask you a question that I asked him before,
All right.
and the previous Taylor, our old co-host, about zombies.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because you know
What do you want to know about zombies?
It's only 3 questions, but Dead Island. Have you guys heard of the game Dead
No.
Island?
Heard
No.
of it, never played it.
Dead Island is pretty much you pick out one of the 4 characters and you're stuck in an island like Hawaii and you gotta survive a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, God.
Everybody is a fucking zombie.
All right.
And you make your own weapons. But my main question is, where would you go to survive? Who would be your surviving member? And what would your weapon be?
First of all, I'm going to go on the record saying this. I can't stand zombie shit, okay? I think it's annoying. I think it's a distraction. I think it's ridiculous. That said, what was the first question, Mike?
All right. First of all, what would your fighting weapon against zombies be?
In the event of a zombie apocalypse.
I mentioned
What's your
just to
weapon?
let everybody hold on, just to let everybody know, myself and Tim, we've been zombie fans since before the fucking zombie craze, since before The Walking Dead,
Or Waking
and
Dead, right?
Waking Dead, whatever, all that bullshit. We've been long-time zombie fans, right, Tim?
Okay.
We've been here for a long time. That's why I'm asking. So,
All right.
but your weapon,
my-
first your weapon, your surviving member, and then your shelter.
Okay. So, first answer is going to be a steel toe boot. Combat boot. Okay?
You're dead.
No, I'm not dead because you haven't seen these legs, okay? It's like a bucket of chicken wings right here. No, there's some strong legs, guys.
As
All
sexy as your legs are, they will not help you survive.
I'm going to kick everybody with my steel toe boots. Okay, so that's one. And then two, my surviving member would be Ronnie James Dio, who will blow all their heads off with his voice, R.I.P. And what's the third?
Your shelter.
My shelter, underground in a cave.
So pretty much
like
a
Osama bin
1950s
Laden. 'Cause yeah.
nuclear shelter, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Is that okay with you? Because you're making these faces right now.
Yeah, I'm making these faces because it's just like, fuck, I'm sorry, Mom, but you would have died with just your fucking boots.
Oh,
Because,
no.
okay, everybody... If
But
you,
I have Dio's voice. Come on now, it's powerful.
Okay, we're talking about realistic shit here.
So this is why I
Dio
don't
at
like.
this point is a zombie already.
This is why I don't like the zombie shit. It doesn't make any sense to me. I indulged you though.
Let me give you an example. I believe...
These are
sure.
my points, all right? So my weapon would be a fucking steel or aluminum bat or a katana. One of them you don't have to sharpen, and the other one is you just keep bashing fucking heads in. The other one would be a surviving one would be Chuck Norris, of course.
Ew, fuck Chuck Norris. He's horrible.
He will throw your ass to the motherfucking sun.
How about my legs are better than Chuck Norris? All right, with my steel toe boot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of competition right there. Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is not metal.
Under his beard, he doesn't have a chin.
Yeah,
He's got
said it.
another fist.
I said it. He's horrible.
All right.
He's a fundamental
We're
Christian.
not
Metal is
even going to continue with this
All right.
conversation. We'll continue with some...
There goes our booze. Okay.
There goes your booze, sucker.
It's all done.
Anyway, yeah, it's all done. But anyway, we'll leave the partner for some other time. But my shelter would either be the mall, well, the merchandise mart.
Beat it up.
You just want to cut it for now?
Yeah, I guess.
You want to continue later?
Craigslist.
If we can do it in 10 minutes, we can.
Let's do it in 10 minutes. Zombie apocalypse.
And my shelter, if I had to pick a shelter, then my shelter would be either a merchandise mart because it's a mini mall, and they have the loop radio station there, so it's like soundproof windows and like 2-inch thick doors, so zombies are gonna hear you. And then they have a back elevator in the secret elevator, so I could go through the merchant for the food and stuff. And then my secondary shelter would be the mall.
Right on.
Because everything's there. Just like the merchandise mart. Everything's there. And then, Tim, what about you?
You know what? I don't remember what person I was going to use, but weapon would be anything I build because I'm pretty crafty like that. And my place would be Menards because that place is loaded with stuff to build weapons and lots of non-perishable food and plenty of lumber to fortify.
Oh, man. I would be dead first, I guess.
I'd happy survive, though.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, but part of everybody's favorite show, Craigslist Creeps, and I think we should start off with Tim and go around with Tim, Yvonne, and myself. You know what? Tim, myself, and then Yvonne.
All right, because I'm new to this.
Yes, and you have to get the feel of how to be creepy and
Okay.
give us our fear boners. I want that boner.
All right.
That fear boner.
Let's see if I give it to you.
Okay.
I hope so. We'll take
Mine
pictures.
is a male for male from Boston, Massachusetts, and he is 52 years old. And this one is called Reservoir Shirtless Runner.
Make it sexy. Breathe and make it sexy, my friend.
Breathe harder, Tim. Can you breathe harder?
All right, that itself is giving me a fear boner. I'm sorry.
We passed one another several times today. Saturday, 11/24. Around 1 or 2 p.m., you were shirtless. I was with a young companion. We made eye contact. Wondering if you'd like those delicious nipples of yours worked on, or if you'd like to unload in my mouth. Let me know.
Damn, even kisses. I'm sorry, Tim, but that got my fucking... I'm halfway there. And my nipples are hard.
Wow.
But, Yvonne.
Okay, so I'm going next.
Here, you're doing a woman for a woman.
Oh, Salem. Is this Salem, Massachusetts?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, fantastic.
Because, you know, you're a witch and all.
Because I'm a witchy witch. All right, so the listing is called Mormon Girl from Willamette Valley. Mormon girl in a cowboy hat. Electric smile is where it's at. Danger is your middle name. Breaking hearts is your best game. I'm tempted, but I know what's true. And tangling with a wildcat like you means somebody's gonna get hurt. Ooh, that's kinky.
I think I'm going to be taking Yvonne home tonight.
No, he's not, everybody,
Oh,
for the
yeah.
record.
She says that now. Until I do my man for man.
You wish.
My man for man isn't to turn you on. Wait. Oh, no. It's a man for woman. You're going to like this. Oh, Tim. I know it's going to make you hard.
He's rubbing
Yeah,
his nipples.
rub your nipples for me.
Why did you just give me a Swiss Army knife, Tim?
To kill him if he tries to take you home.
Oh, why, thank you.
Well, regardless, I still have to take her home.
Oh, right. That's right. You're her ride.
You're my ride.
But, here's, babes, look out. Man for woman, I'm 30. Because I am going to charm your panties off. You'll have no idea what's happening until you're all, what the fuck? Am I having fun? Oh, holy shit. This rules. Yes, please. Take my phone number and cook me dinner. Sometime. Oh, yeah. I am totally cool with pork. Because you make me feel, like, so adventurous. Or something. And that was my man for a woman. Creeps from Craigslist.
That's disgusting.
I'm telling you, some of these people are fucking creeps.
Ugh, where was that? That's in Chicago, too.
Oh, yeah.
Babes, look out.
Chicago. The Bears, watch out. Cutler, I hope that's not Cutler. Because he's on my fantasy football team and... God damn it, dude. Fuck. Alright, but yeah, that's funny. That's Craigslist Creeps with myself, Mike.
Tim.
And Yvonne.
On Pyro Radio, and unfortunately for you guys, that means that this is the end of the show. So, on behalf of the Offering Magazine, since this is a special edition of Pyro Radio with all Offering Magazine management, including myself, assholes. That's right, Yvonne. I'm part of your management now.
Unfortunately. No, it's fortunate, Mike. You've done such a great job. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. You didn't have to kiss my ass on the show, but I appreciate
I'm not
it.
kissing your ass. It's the truth.
But, yeah, thank you all for listening in again every week. And then we continue. But remember, in December, we will be having Arsis, Elivetti, and Winter Sun here on Pyro Radio for you guys. So be ready for that. And keep tuning in every week and tell all your friends how awesome we are. But I'm here with
Tim.
Yvonne!
And myself with my gorgeous voice, Mike, here on Pyro Radio. We all hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and a wonderful Black Friday, and have a good week here from Pyro Radio.